Good day. God bless you. Welcome back. My name is Zach, and this is episode 44 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. Guys, I was 48 hours into my fast as I got home from work today, and I'm sitting here trying to dissect what happened and how I had something to eat today on a fasting day. I don't know if I think it's my lack of planning, really. I'm kind of like no structure like I talked about before. But to not give myself too hard of a time, I made it. This is the fifth 96-hour fast before I cheated even once. So I'm not too down about it. I just had a small amount of rice, like a cup of rice with seasoning, hot sauce and stuff in it, and some nuts, which I said I should never have around, but somehow some nuts got into my apartment. So anyway, welcome to a few new subscribers since over the weekend, so that's nice. Good to see you guys joining me, and good evening, my son, the prancing cat. Good to see you joining me live. You got on within 1 minute. Nice. So like I said, I was 48 hours into this 96-hour fast. I had one small meal. I'd even call it a snack. Like the calorie count was probably not more than a few hundred calories. So um, there is forms of fasting that count anything less than 500 as pretty much the same as a fasting day. So I'm not going to count the hours as rolling because I did eat something, but I'm just going to continue fasting until Tuesday night or maybe even Wednesday morning, when because that'll be my first day off of work. So I'll still fast. So it's Saturday night. I'll fast all day Sunday, all day Monday, and all day Tuesday. So it should still work out pretty well. And I'm just going to continue with the not weighing myself until the end of fasting weeks. So like once every 8 days. Maybe I'll wait till the ninth day this time because it'll be Tuesday night instead of what it would have been Monday night. But I'll probably just stick with the every eighth day so my calendar don't get messed up or weighing. So felt the burn from working out yesterday with my cousin, and so took the day off today as far as going to the gym. But slow day at work on the weekends. It's usually a lot slower. So I'm concentrating on myself right now. I feel like the positive affirmations I had spoken yesterday, I actually feel like they kind of made me eat today because I felt like, well, the reason I've been so strict with eating is because food had control over me. And just speaking the positive affirmations one day, I was like, food doesn't control me. I can now eat a small meal. I can now not eat late. Like I'm feeling totally motivated, encouraged. It's nine. It was about an hour ago when I ate something, maybe hour and a half, to not eat anymore and go to bed. And you'll sleep better without sleep eating before you go to bed. Like I said, if you eat right before you sleep and you lay down and your body's not made to digest food horizontally, and you just don't get recuperative and restful sleep at all. And then those calories are that food's just like not digesting properly, and it's really not good for you. So today I am claiming victory in Christ Jesus. I am really focusing on stepping up the prayer and realizing like the big part of this program for me, for my life, for who I am, for what I believe in, is to claim victory. It's victory over the flesh. Like one of my schools that I trained at for the like 5 years off and on, jiu-jitsu schools, it had a big sign on the wall. It said, "Thy greatest victory is to conquer oneself." And really, that's a great saying. I love it. When you have victory over yourself, as far as that's self-control, self-discipline, self-motivation, whatever, self-love, self-care, it's really what the Bible talks about all over the place, but in Romans especially, I brought out some verses that one day. Um, it's when your spirit has victory over the flesh. So in that in that saying, the self is really the flesh, which is not really you. This is not me. This is what I am in. I am the intellect of my soul, and that person has to have victory over this person, and then you will know thy greatest victory. And that victory is through Christ Jesus. So without those type of sayings, that as great as they are, they leave Christ out of the equation. And that's why they don't completely work. It's like they are biblical principles, but they're taking God out of it. So just put the Lord back in everything and things work out a lot better. So I'm focusing on continuing to pray, and claiming that victory over the flesh. My spirit man is in control over my flesh man. And then you will really know victory. Then the dieting won't matter. The exercising won't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you won't have to struggle with, you won't have to fast for 4 days at a time and 7 days at a time, because you'll be able to eat healthy all the time. I still want to fast though. So I still have a lot of weight to lose, and it'll be a quicker way to lose it. Jesus did fast for 40 days and 40 nights in the Bible as a preparation for a struggle with Satan, where, you know, Jesus defeated Satan. He defeated death. He went down to the underworld, the death, and proclaimed his salvation to those that had gone before him. But so claiming that victory and feeling good. Like I in the past, I would have been way down on myself for having like eaten in the middle of a fast. And now I feel great about it, because I'm like, I'm in control. I can have a small meal if I want. And if I go, that was 48-hour fast anyway. So I have 72 more hours till the rest of my work week. So really it'll just be one small meal within a 120-hour fast, which probably be pretty victorious anyway. And the fact that it was a nice small meal, I'm very, I don't want to say proud of myself, but I'm giving the glory to Christ that was a victory, really, to even break the fast when I didn't want to, but to not blow up. Like I said, my problem with eating is that I eat and then it's on, and I just eat everything I can find for hours on end until I'm so full I'm just sick. And so I think the positive affirmations from yesterday, and I want to make some more today. I said I was going to do some more homework today if I didn't go to the gym, which I didn't, but then I kind of just later, since I ate, it threw me off. I almost forgot to make my video. It's like 9:15. I just started, 7 minutes ago. And I was laying around like just getting tired and thinking about going to bed early. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even make my video yet. So I'm feeling pretty good, actually. So I'm feeling that spirit overtaking the flesh. I'm actually wanting to work out for some reason a lot more. My motivation to work out. I know the Bible says physical exercise profiteth little. And it's because if you ate the proper diet, as the Bible, and got your steps in, there's really no reason to work out, especially lift weights. I mean, you can just do push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, go for a walk. You'll be completely fit and ripped. I mean, the male body's ripped if you just cut away the body fat, which you cut away with proper diet, and your body won't store fat because you're not overeating. So I am claiming victory in Christ's name, and I'm with prayer and with fasting. But now I want to focus the fasting, not so like I'm not fasting to lose weight. I'm fasting to get in line with the will of God and with the word of God and with God's will in my life. And then I'm just going to continue this particular fast like nothing happened. I ate a cup of rice and a cup of pistachios. I'm just going to keep going. No big deal. And I bet you, well, we'll see. I'm going to weigh in. What will it be? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I am going to weigh in Monday night, even though I'm going to fast all the way till Tuesday. So I'd weigh less if I weighed in Tuesday, but because that'll be the every 8th day, because we still have over 2 months of this to go. It's January 21st. So February 21st, March 21st. Yeah, we got 2, 8, 9. We got like 9 weeks, a little over 9 weeks to go. So that'll be like 10. Yeah, we got quite a few more rounds of 96-hour fast. So I'm just going to keep sticking with them. And if I want to eat a meal in the fast, I will. If I don't, I won't. But I think what I'm feeling good about now is, come my next 4 days off. Well, it'll be 3 days off this time because I'm working the extra day. Come my next 3 days off. I don't even want to word it that way. I want to word this correctly. I am going to eat 3 small, healthy, low carb, well, not necessarily low carb, but low processed food meals. I am going to do it I am going to stick to the program. I am going to stick to the plan. It's God's natural plan. You don't need to be, you just, you think Jesus was on a diet? You think, he told the disciples, here's that we're going to be on the Jesus diet. They just ate food. They had fish and bread and fruits and vegetables. And, they just ate the food that, to live. That you eat enough to live. That's all you need. You provide your body with the nutrients that it needs for the work the workload that you're doing. Which, by the way, it's very interesting. You just know the American diet, like eat this for breakfast and eat this for lunch and eat a big dinner. And it's pretty interesting to Google like eating patterns throughout history. They're very different than ours. People ate in all different kind of ways. Like breakfast was their big meal, or lunch was their big meal. Dinner sometimes in some points in some areas of the world and some points in history, dinner was the very small meal. Because, for example, in the winter it's getting dark and it's harder to prepare a large meal in the dark, because it gets dark at 5 o'clock in the winter, say in Northern Europe or Canada, so that was a small meal historically, and the bigger meal was when it was light out and you're working and you need the energy, the food energy to hunt and fish and trap and farm and garden and whatever else they're doing, collecting berries and chopping wood and so. Well, that brings up another with the 10,000 steps. They just, with the pedometer that was invented in Japan in the 60s, was it? You can look that up if you want. I think it was the 60s. And they just threw it out there that 10,000 steps. We'll just make it be able to count up to 10,000. And then as the decades went by, they had calculated that it was about that many steps that the average man would have taken, before modern jobs, and especially sit down jobs in modern homes. And I talk to my coworkers all the time. Like when I'm at work doing my job, I said, what I'm doing right now is gathering wood, hunting, trapping, building shelter. I'm doing all those things that prehistoric man would have had to do, but I'm doing it by inspecting these products, and then I get money to get all those things. You say, well, Zach, you don't chop wood. We don't have wood. I just turn the heat on. That's the example. I hit the faucet and the water comes out. I hit the stove and the gas. There's all these things you would have had to do by hand, and you would have had to walk and carry stuff. And so I think that's why one of the best exercises you can do, especially don't go to a gym, like don't walk on a treadmill, like walk outside, just walk outside, and jog a little. Like I said, if you want to jog a 5K, I mean, I don't care how overweight you are or how out of shape you think you are. It is easy to run a 5K. Like what is it, January? I mean, you could, if you started going for long walks now, and then as soon as the weather gets nice, to put on some running shoes without ruining them in the swampy snow and water, and just start, jog as far away from your house as you can, turn around and walk back, because you're tired. And then do that every day for every other day for 2 months, you'll be running a 5K easy. It's only 3.12 miles. And even if you walk it, I mean, so what? I'm just saying to just make it simple. This program doesn't need to be so difficult. I mean, I'm making it as simple as I can. Just don't eat for 4 days. That's really easy. You could say, well, I can't go 4 days without eating. Well, then don't do that. This is just what I'm doing. It's make it easy on yourself. For me, the fasting is very easy. So that is me going easy on myself. For you, it might be you need to eat every day. And then you need to figure out how you're going to lose weight by eating every day without fasting. Or then I would say, well, intermittent fast then, and eat between noon and 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., do not eat, and then don't eat before noon the next day. So eat your big lunch, and then eat either one more meal, like a smaller meal 4 hours later, and then another small meal 4 hours later, and then cut it out and don't eat again for 16 hours. If you just did that and you ate nothing but meat, vegetables, fruits, nuts, berries, melons, that's it. Don't even have to count calories. Just eat those combinations of food until you're full for your first meal, and then eat like half that much for your second and third meal. So like let's say you're on a 2,000 calorie diet. Like you could eat 1,000 calorie lunch, and then a 500 calorie snack 4 hours later, and then a 500 calorie snack 4 hours later, and then be done. Your digestion ramps down so you can sleep better, as opposed to having the big meal later. And then you're not you have so much food to digest because you ate at 8 o'clock and you're going to bed at 10, 11, whatever. So that, that might be something I get into after April 1st. I am penciling it out still. I haven't talked about it too much, although I mentioned like the food combinations, and that's what I'm working on, is what foods do you eat at what times, and to something I can sustain without it being so, like, I don't want to feel like I'm using self-discipline. I want to feel like I'm using self-control, and it's just easy. Like I ate the little bit of food here when I got home, a little bit after I got home, and I felt like I was in total control. I didn't have, usually in the last, I don't know, I was fit till I was about my late 20s. So, it's been like 20 years, over 20 years, that food has really controlled me. I really not in control. Like when I go to get something to eat, it's almost like crack of the whip on my back, and it's like, go. And it's like I'm a slave to this food, and I just can't stop overeating, and I'm not even happy. Like I said, not even enjoying it. Laying in bed having some snack, like, oh man, this is not going to be good for my digestion when I sleep. This isn't good for your heart. This isn't good for your organs. Like, you gotta put a spin on it that makes you want to do good. But that's the negative aspect of it. I'm not going to focus on that so much anymore. Now I'm going to focus on more the positive energy, the positive, the just, like I said, I'm not even going to say I'm going to try to eat well on my next 3 days off. I am going to. I'm going to eat. I'm feeling it. I'm looking into the future. I'm happy. Happiness. Like this guy. Well, I forgot to mention this. So there's this younger guy at work. He's skinny. He's not like jacked with muscle, but he's fit. Probably 150. He's probably like 5'9", 150 pounds, say. Maybe even 140. He's a pretty thin, but he's fit. He doesn't have big arms like mine, but he has fit body. Like I would trade mine with his in a minute. And I can't believe, I see him eat and you think, that's just natural. Like he doesn't have to diet or exercise or do anything. He's just all natural. Well, yeah, it is all natural to him because he naturally eats, and I call him Fruit Cup as a joke, because he eats like a tiny fruit cup, like you could hold it in your hand with like, a strawberry and a grape and a chunk of watermelon and a water and like a cup of water. And like, he's like, that's a good breakfast, like 50 of those to me would be a good breakfast in the past, but now I'm feeling like, God, that'll feel good, Oh, what book was it? I got to dig out this book on discipline, but it talks about how like say wrestlers and MMA fighters, like some of them dudes are so dedicated to their training and to their fighting and to their craft and their art. Like I was training at this one gym where he was an older dude, but he wasn't older than me, but older for how much he competed. Like he went to like seniors wrestling tournaments, like on his way to an MMA fight, that he was in, so like in the morning goes to this over 40 wrestling tournament at some college campus, and like does awesome and is smoked, sweating, wrestled like 3 times in one afternoon. And then that evening he's getting to an MMA fight and gets in there, and wins the title. Like these guys are just so hardcore. Or this other guy in the same gym, he made it up. He made it like a level up. I mean, not to the ultimate, not to the UFC or anything, but one of the higher tier fighting organizations from like local Minnesota ones. And he didn't win, but he was just 145 pounds, college wrestler of just jacked muscle. Like making it to that level got him that jacked. And anyway, he got brutally beat in the fight, where he had like stitches all the way around his head from just cracked open on an elbow, and his face just looked like it got ran over by a Mack truck. And he was in the gym in the cage the next day with me, and I was like, dude, you are my hero. This is the kind of like, do you think they felt like they feel good about being disciplined? Like it's the joy. Like I'll use alcohol. It's a bad example, but like 21 days ago, I had a few glasses of wine, and I'm not trying to not drink at all. Like I'm actually proud that I don't even have to try, and I can go 21 days without drinking, and it means nothing. The only reason I know is because it was New Year's Eve. Otherwise, I would be completely clueless, because before that night, I don't even remember the time I drank before that, because I didn't have my YouTube channel going yet, and I wasn't even thinking about. I don't keep track, and it's just because whatever day it is of this year is going to be how many days it's been since I drank. And I'll say whenever I do. I was thinking about it yesterday, like, oh, I could go buy a beer and drink it and then tell everybody, oh, I had a beer today, and because it's no big deal. Well, like that, I don't feel disciplined. You know what I'm saying? You get my story? What I'm getting at is like, I'm just over it. And so that's how I need to feel about the food. Like I want to feel the pleasure of the discipline. Like when the dude was in the cage octagon with the gloves on, with mouthpiece in, fighting with me. The day after he got like 35 staples in his skull. And he had a huge smile on his face, laughing, like, because he was just that badass, you know? And he wasn't like forcing himself to be there. Like he loved it. Like this discipline feels so good. And you know what? It does. When I was telling you I lost all that weight in 2007. Did I say that on here or was I talking to somebody else? I don't remember now. I think I said it on here. But the fittest I've been in the last 20 years since 2002. My God, that was 20 years ago. Yeah, the fittest I've been since 2002 was in 2007. I made a weight loss bet with a guy at work and I got down to like 210 pounds. And I kept it off for like about a year. Like I gained like maybe 10 of it back because I had done some fasting and some intermittent fast to get down that low. And I just remember driving to work and having, you're driving and I put my hand where my stomach used to be. And it was just like, I couldn't take my stomach off my abs because I actually could feel my ab muscles. And I was like in a permanent state of it, just ecstatic, like, and it felt so good. And I want to get like that, but where it doesn't go away anymore, where where I can get on here and say I had a fruit cup for breakfast and like it wasn't like I'm saying I haven't drank in 21 days. It feels like no discipline at all. I don't know. Maybe I should buy a beer and just put it here and be like, look how disciplined I am. I don't even want to drink it. And I'll just leave it here for just weeks and we'll see maybe months. We'll see how long it goes. And then one of the days, just out of nowhere, I'll crack it and have a drink. It means nothing to me. Like I'm laughing about how easy that victory I have over alcohol is. And like I said, it was the Neuro Association that I did that with. Oh my God, you guys, I think I just had so when I quit alcohol, I used the Neuro Association that I'd read about from Anthony Robbins, and then I bought another book specifically about Neuro Association. And that was where I explained it in some of my other videos, but in case you didn't see that one, I'll catch you up a second. It's just where you associate the beer that you're going to drink, and I associated it with vomit. Just nasty, fresh vomit coming out of somebody's mouth, and it's going into my mouth. Ugh! And that's all I thought about when I wanted to drink. And I went to the liquor store 3 times in a year, and I left all 3 times without buying anything. And I had 0 beers for a year. I think it was almost 2 years, but I want to not exaggerate. I know it was at least 1 year that I had none after I did that Neuro Association. And then after I didn't check my A1C or go back to the doctor or anything. And I tell people I wish I never would have, because when I went and it was like, oh, your diabetes is gone. Well, then I was like, well, I guess I can have a couple beers now because the diabetes is gone. And I was like, and then I gained like 40 pounds back. I should have just never even went back and looked. Well, not 40 pounds back, but whatever it was, 20 pounds back. So, but now I'm in that, I'm still in that ballpark. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't think I'm under 248, but I don't think I'm going to be too far off of it because I don't think I weigh too much more than that. I mean, I fasted for 48. I had a small meal, and now I'm going to fast for 72 more. So then I'll weigh in, and we'll see where we're at. I'm just going to quit weighing in on the high end because who cares? I'll just eat my healthy meals during the eating days. I'll say what I eat, but I just won't say what I weigh because really all I'm doing is weighing that food, like I said before. And then it gets in my head a little too much that, oh no, I gained 7 pounds. And it's like, well, yeah, you're about to fast for 4 days. That's going to just be right back out of you and you're going to be disappearing, So man, I got to write that down. I might even go back and read the Neuro Association book. Oh, what? The first book I read about it's not even a book about it. Anthony Robbins, it's one of his books. It might be Awaken the Giant Within. I might read it. I might start reading it now right after this video because I'm about 25 minutes in. I'll go for Neuro Association. I think Awaken the Giant Within. It might be in that one if it is. Um, I mean, I know how to do it already anyway. So what I got to do, I got to visualize my positive meal. I know that, but then I got to think when I want to eat when I'm not hungry because it's like emotional eating. Let me back up a little too. So when I got home and ate today, I think it was some emotional little like comfort emotional eating because at work today, and I'm like 90% over my most recent ex-girlfriend. Not trying to downplay how much I loved her because I loved her a lot and I still love her a little. But just not good for me, not at all a healthy, person that I should be with. Everybody has their own issues and I don't want to put her down. It's just not right for me. She was not nice to me, didn't treat me right, said some hurtful things on the way out the door and all that. But anyway, I was at work today and I was jamming on some Pandora, and on my phone, I had saved playlists, and one of them was what's her name's playlist on there. And I don't know why I hit it. I was like, I'll reminisce. And I turned the song on, and it's not my kind of music, but it was her kind of music. And I almost started crying. I felt it. I jumped up out of my seat and like walked around my lab and got a drink of water. And I was like, it's okay to cry. I actually enjoy crying when it's a time to cry, but I didn't feel like this was the right time to cry, like because I'm listening to some song that reminded me of her. And it didn't even remind me of the liking of her. It reminded me of the disliking of her because I didn't really like her music or her style. And I don't want to say all the negative things about her, especially publicly. I'm not trying to, humiliate her or put her down or anything. I'm trying to build myself up. But my point is, so I turned it off and I turned some of my music back on. Was more like dun, 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 and I started feeling a way better mood, a little heavy metal, and then I had some tea and I felt fine. And I went and talked to a friend of mine at work that's actually helping me scour the planet for my future wife, and we may have found her on a Pacific island, one of the Pacific islands, in the middle of the Philippines islands. But we'll see. We'll see about that. I have a little trip planned, and we'll see how that works out. But no big deal. Be an awesome vacation if nothing else. But anyway, I talked to him a little bit, and he kind of helped me refocus. It's kind of like the Neuro Association, where when you're trying to get over something, well, let's say you're learning how to ride a bike, and all you think about is the crashing and the pain, and then you're never going to want to ride a bike again. It's like, okay, so you don't want to forget the crashing and the pain, but you want to focus on the balance and the control. So in a relationship, I've crashed and felt the pain over and over and over and over and over. I'm gonna say 5 times in my life. So I'm 0-5 with crashing the bike, but I'm learning how to pedal and I'm getting my balance. And when I find that balance, when I find that person that's going to sit on that tandem bike with me and help me balance it out, I want to be healthy, I want to be wealthy, and I want to be happy without them. And then with them, I want to just feel complete because I already feel complete in Christ. And then you can have a healthy relationship where, and if the person is I tell every woman I ever date, I was like, you treat me, if you will treat me like your king, I will treat you like my queen for the rest of your life, my life, whoever's life lasts longer. I always tease them that I'm going to live longer because I have healthier habits in life, but that is neither here nor there. I am going to win and I'm never giving up. I tell you, these videos are such a help. I can see why like psychiatrists and therapists tell you to what is it called when you write in a notebook like before bed, like a journaling. Like it is so good to journal. If anybody is listening to this video live or in the future, which by the way, thank you. I've been getting about 30 views on each video within about a day. And then if you look at some of the ones that are a couple weeks old, they might have 100 views, but I'm getting like that 25, 30 views where I feel like I have a recurring base of subscribers that are, having the interest to watch every or almost every video. And, so it makes me think maybe somebody's, if it's just one little point gets through of any particular video, oh man, that one sentence, that one paragraph of whatever I said and helped you get through the situation you're in, That's why I was almost gonna lie and just say I'm 48 hours into my fast and just keep going and then just fast for 3 more days and weigh myself, and it would have been no different. But then I was like, wait, no, this is what the series is about. This series is about people that are struggling, that it's not a linear just I started off benching 1 pound and then 20 years later I benched at 950 pounds for the world record. Nobody goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You always are going to crash and burn and fail, and that's how you learn. In fact, that's how we were talking about the formation of your habits initially. It's a what was it? It's a solution to a commonly recurring problem. And you can find negative solutions to a commonly recurring problem. So our habits, we want to be, that can be called like a negative feedback loop. So we want to be in a positive feedback loop where, let's say, being lazy makes you fat. That makes you not want to go to the gym. That makes you lazy. That makes you fat. That makes you not want to go to the gym. Or you could say, wake up full of energy. And since I have so much energy, I go to the gym. And since I go to the gym, I'm fit. And since I'm fit, I have so much energy. And since I have so much energy, I go to the gym. Boom, positive feedback loop. So for whatever reason, my life has told me, Zach, you go to the gym all the time. And you know what? I do. I pretty much have went to either, a weightlifting gym or a jiu-jitsu gym or a boxing gym or now, I've never been to a CrossFit gym, but similar gyms like that where it's like group fitness classes. I'm just always like working out. And I love being social, and I love love. I love very much like when I meet a woman, especially my last two, and I apologize to the one that was 3 ago because she was probably the best woman out of the last 3, but I just never gave her my heart really. But she was probably the nicest and kindest of the 3 anyway. But anyway, my point is that I just poured my heart all into them, all out, and I don't regret it. Oh, you get your heart broken, and it's like, well, what am I gonna not be me so that I don't get my heart broken? I'd rather my next girlfriend, I'm gonna pour my heart out and tell her I love her in the first 2 months, and you know what I mean. I'm just gonna be me because it's honest and it's true. I'm not gonna change because, well, you got to play some game to be in a healthy relationship. It's like, no, I'm going to find a healthy relationship where I don't have to play games. And the woman just reciprocates that love because she's just as mentally healthy as I am. And that's why I pour my heart out to them, because it exposes them for their unhealthiness. If they are, and it's like, well, what if she doesn't love you as much as you love her? Perfect. I want to know that sooner than later. This last girlfriend, we dated a year, but really, I should have left her after 4 months. She started treating me very bad, but she had a negative feedback loop in her life that it was like fight with guys and then get back together and then have makeup, and then fight and then break up and then make up. And she enjoyed that cycle, probably didn't even know she was in it. And I was participating in it, not realizing, wait, what am I doing? So I finally just quit doing it. And I hate to use the word I'm proud of myself. I try very hard to not say that word because, I mean, the Bible talks about pride and envy and like self-pride, but it's not self-pride. It's proud of something you accomplished. If you went to a chess tournament and won the title, some local, whatever, you could be proud of that, not yourself. So, but it's your action. So I am proud that I was able to let it go. And like I said, what is the saying? I can't remember the guy's name wrong. Jocko Wilkins, he said, turn around, don't be an asshole, and just walk away. That's how you don't get broken. That's how you don't let people break you. When somebody mistreats you, and this is something I'm working on, is my overreaction to disrespect. I've lived, I trained to fight for so many years, and I was good at it. I'll admit I'm 50 and I haven't trained in quite a while, but I'm sure I can still throw a powerful left hook, and I'm sure I still got a takedown, and I know I still got some submissions in me, and I got some strength. But anyway, my point is, I can't remember. I got sidetracked. What was I talking about? Somebody tell me. I was talking about. I can't remember now. I have to use my neuro association to overcome these these minor obstacles. I don't even I'm claiming victory so much. I'm feeling so great right now. I feel like I could really easily do 16-8 on my days of eating. And I think I'm gonna on the 3 days I eat, maybe even less. Remember, I said I didn't want to do OMAD anymore because I just way overeat. But I feel like, well, basically that's what I just did because I ate one meal today, even though I hadn't eaten in since 3 days ago, 2 days ago. Um, but I ate such a small amount that it was like, okay, if I could do that, well, then I could make OMAD work a lot better. Where I on my fasting days, obviously don't eat, and then on my eating days, just eat one small meal at night, and because I could train myself to do that then, like after April 1st, when I'm gonna back off of the fasting off April 1st. So I'm just gonna go as hard as I can with fasting, whether it's 4 days or 5 days or 6 days. And just to prove that I can, I kind of want to fast a one time 7 days, and I just don't want to do that 8th day because then I'm back into it would be like my next 4 days of fasting, and then I'd have to go 12 without messing up the pattern. So, but I do want to maybe after this round, I'll eat them 3 days, and then we'll see if I can fast for 7 days straight, which I had planned this time. And I watch if I make it all the way till Tuesday night, it will be just this one small meal that I had, 500 calories in 7 days, which I think most people would still find pretty impressive and disciplined. And like I said, though, I ate it out of control. I felt the emotional sadness at work from thinking about my ex-girlfriend, and when it was something else. I watched like relationship YouTube channels and like getting over my ex-girlfriend. I don't think was narcissistic, but my two ago I think was. And so I learned to identify what that is and kind of the red flags of how they start treating you and distancing themselves and mistreating you. And so the listening to the song at work, the music was on my Pandora, had me almost crying. And then I felt bad. I bounced back to where I felt pretty good. Like, okay, I got over it. And my coworker that gives good advice, he was like, you're that close to, if she called you and told you to come over, you would. And I'm like, I know I am, I'm right. I'm like on that weak level, but then I remembered, well, she did try to reel me back in like a couple months ago and just called me all friendly. And, I stuck to my guns because you can't think about all the good times when you crashed and burned on that bike that many times in a row for, like 9 months straight. You got to realize, man, sometimes you just got to get off that bike and leave that thing in the street and go get a new one. So I felt that strength really built up. And then I kind of felt like, well, I'm just going to have, I don't even know. It's like, it isn't like I was thinking about it for 8 hours to eat. It just kind of happens. And it's happened to me like that before. I was going to do I think I was going for like a 21-day fast or something. And I was doing great. And it was day 13. And like, this is a funny story how just my mind can trick myself into eating, because your hormones, your flesh, your hormones and everything in your body is attempting to send signals to your brain that make you eat. Like there's stuff happening in your body that is very powerful that you are not in total control of with your brain. But those are just physical, desires in your body. Your control of your actions. Don't be out there saying, "Oh, I can go do something," and say I wasn't in control. No, you're in control of what you do. What I'm saying is there's hormones in your body that you cannot control their release, or they're held from being released. And anyway, so I was 13 days into this fast, and I was trying to fast for 21 days, and I felt good, not awesome, but I started feeling bad at about day 9, and then I struggled through day 9, day 10, day 11, and then by day 12, I felt pretty good, and then day 13, and I was like, you know what? I've ran a half marathon, and a half marathon is 13 miles. So 13 days, that'll be the goal. Like it was, I already had the goal of 21 days. And then it just got in my head, up 13, well, because the half marathon is 13.1 miles. And then I was even like, well, 0.1 will be, this many minutes into the 13th day. And then I ate something. And then I was like, well, I fasted for a half marathon. So it's like I tricked myself to get myself to eat. And I feel like now, that was years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Now I feel like I don't need to do that. And I'm feeling this. I have no desire to eat right now. I have a desire to go to bed and get some good rest. Like, you know, I mean, try to think about what are you going to do, not what aren't you going to. I'm not going to, like I said, I don't think about that I'm not going to drink today ever because it just doesn't even come to my mind. And I just like to use the drinking because if anybody is on here that knows me, and there's quite a few friends and coworkers and family subscribers of mine that know what kind of heavy drinker I was. And oh, there's probably I didn't invite a lot of the people of the town I just moved out of. I should get back on Facebook and add a bunch of people from that town and they'd probably be shocked and amazed that I don't drink at all anymore when they saw me sit there and drink, 40 whiskeys in a row at the bar. So I believe food no longer has control over me. I claim victory over self. I believe Jesus Christ has given me the spirit of victory over my flesh. I'm taking complete control of my diet in Jesus' name with the power of the Holy Spirit with prayer and fasting. So as I fast tomorrow, I fast not for weight loss, but for spiritual strength. And I'm going to use that cleansing of the body as a cleansing of the mind, cleansing of the spirit to take complete control of. And then when that happens, it's not over your diet because then it's so insignificant you never even care. The most fit guys at work that I've talked to, this one guy, he was like a pretty successful high school wrestler, not like state champ level, but right there, right where like right in the tournament, getting victories, right close to the state title guy. And then he was a semi-professional bodybuilder. And now he's like 53, 54, and he's still just ripped. He's like 155, maybe 60 pounds now. He got married and gained 5 pounds, and he thinks he's out of shape now. And he's still just ripped. And when I talk to him about what food he eats, he's like, I eat food to live, like you have to eat to live. Like, that's it. Like, I haven't eaten to live my entire life. Well, since childhood, I'll say, by the time I was a teenager running the streets of Minneapolis and, just all high munching on Doritos, just eating out of pleasure for food and taste for junk food and disgusting. So I'm going to just keep going. No, I was feeling bummed about it before the video. I had hardly any notes written and I was like, just go live just because you just got to do it. You got to talk this out to yourself. And it's really working. I reminded myself with the Neuro Association, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for anything that, like anything dietarily. I don't know if I can imagine vomit. Like, say I start having some weakness about my ex-girlfriend and like I'm ready to break. Thankfully, I blocked her phone number and deleted it off my phone. And otherwise, I would have probably called her 10 times by now. I don't know if vomit would be a good thing to use, but just remember don't try to think about why you like her, because that all women have why I like her. Because besides that, she was not very nice to me. So I got to remember those things. So that Neuro Association, like, get over that with this, and you have victory in Jesus' name. With the food, I think I can use the vomit. Like, okay, this is healthy food, and you feel that is the providing your body with the vitamins, minerals, macronutrients, micronutrients, everything it needs to flourish and thrive and enjoy life. Not always be tired, not always be fatigued. I don't know how many people at my work and just everybody I know, they're just always tired. Like, in the morning, in the noon, in the night, I'm tired. It's like, well, and they drink energy drinks like they're just going out of business. Those things don't do shit for you. Well, they do shit for you. They make you think you're addicted. Well, they make you addicted to them. They don't give you energy. If they gave you energy, then you wouldn't need one. They want you to need them or they'd go out of business. So they actually make you worse. Same with the aspirin and Tylenol, like the over-the-counter medications. You get on those things. I know guys that take 10, 20 pills a day And then all of a sudden they're wondering why they're having kidney failure and liver damage and having their gallbladder removed. It's like your gallbladder's a filter. Those medications have to be filtered through your gallbladder, and then it's destroyed, and then they take it out. And then what's filtering it? Nothing. And you're still popping pills, and you're just in more pain every day. It's like, my God, isn't this the definition of insanity to do the same thing and expect a different result? I mean, if you're tired every day, well, I'm going to drink coffee every day, and then every day you're still tired. Like, maybe that wasn't it. Maybe that's not giving you energy. Anyway, we're going to find the path of least resistance. Bruce Lee said, be like water. It's kind of funny. You pour water into a glass and it becomes the glass. You pour water over a hill and it finds the lowest crack and the easiest, least resistance way to get down. Like the way a river flows. A river just flows in the path of least resistance. A little rocks in the way, it goes around. A mountain's in the way, it goes this way. Hills in the way, it goes that way. So be like water and find the best way to win a fight. You tell me, is to not get in a fight. You could easily talk your way out of most physical conflicts, like some drunk dude at a bar. What are you looking at? Oh, I just saw, I love your t-shirt, man. What's that? I was wondering where you got that. You can defuse the situations, even like when I used to go to the mall with my kids. I'm not a tall dude. I'm a little bigger and tattooed, but I'm not super intimidating looking, like compared to like 6'5", 280 pound, like just jack looking, especially like people of different races that they might view me as a threat. And I tell my kids, or we're walking around when they're little, and I'll be like, watch, every time we see some big intimidating guy, I'm just going to give him a big old cheesy smile and wave to him, and like 9 out of 10 times they smiled and waved back. And, it's like, your reality, man, is you're creating the world you live in. And if you're living in misery, believe me, you're creating the misery. Turn off the news. Turn off all social media except this YouTube channel. Of course, always watch this YouTube channel. It is in your best interest. I have your best interest in mind. I have my best interest in mind. And I also have your best interest in mind. It's why I started the channel. I was like, well, I could do this myself like I have 100 other times. Or I could share it on YouTube and see if people find the interest in it. Maybe several people have commented on some of the videos and said, hey, I did my first 72-hour fast, or said, I'm going to weigh 200 by April, just like you, or, same goal date or same goal month and same, or I tried this and that and this and that, which this channel is really not about that. You can feel free to comment on any video you want and post like what diet and exercise routine you went on, but that's really not what this channel is about. Like, oh, he's promoting to fast for 96 hours and then eat for sort. It's like, no, I'm not. That's just what I'm doing because I've fasted so many times and I know it works for me. What I'm promoting is a change of a mental state, a shift definitely away from like the world. The Bible says we are in this world, but we are not of this world. It helped me today too when I was having a little misery. I was having a little bit of sorrow and I almost cried. And I like crying. I don't mind crying when it's time to cry. Like when my girlfriend before her broke up with me, it was a chop that I really didn't see coming as much. And I was bawling for 2 months, like just tears flowing out of my face for seriously 1 month, even all day at work, driving, just all day. I was crying every day. And I got to the point where like, if I wasn't crying, I'd turn on a sad song that would make me cry, because, and you know what? It worked. It got out of me. And when I got over that woman, I got over her completely. I've seen her like 3, 4, 5 times at the grocery store when I go back to the town where she lives, because I still own a house there and my kids live there. And if I run to the grocery store or something, I've ran into her there. And it's been like her head's down and she's like, hi, like, she's not like thinking she did the best thing by dumping me, but I moved on. But I have I could say I still love her because I still care about her and she's a good woman. And, I hope she does the best she can in life. She's got a shit ton of kids too. Little ones, and she was a little younger than me. So she had some younger kids, but The point is, sometimes crying's okay. I'm 50 and I've been a crier my whole life. Oh, and that's what I was talking about too. Like, so you're not gonna cry to some guy like talking shit at work, right? I would if I was just gonna be honest with myself, I would just cry and ask them, will they leave me alone because they're making me so sad? But no man's gonna do that at work, especially in front of other men. So what I've done, most of my life, because I know I could kill them physically with my bare hands if I wanted to, and I literally could. I mean, any there's black belt jujitsu guys that could kill me too. I'm not bragging about it or anything. It's a very effective martial art. I mean, if you took a good high school wrestler and give him 12 months of jujitsu at a good school, I mean, that guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. But anyway, my point is, when I'm disrespected by some guy, especially some younger, half my size, punk ass, that I know I could just wring his neck and choke him to death if I wanted to, and he's putting me down and are trying to humiliate me in front of other people. Well, for one, who does that? Do mentally healthy, do mentally stable, emotionally stable, do happy people do that to other people? Of course not. Like, I don't do that to other people. People think I do because they see me react in such a negative way in the past to people like that. That it took me a long time, and it's just recently that I recognize, like, the way you react is your choice. Well, you made me feel angry. It's like, no, you chose to feel angry. Your thoughts chose anger, and your feeling was anger. Then it's like, so about a month ago, a younger but big dude, like 6'6", 300-pound, this big younger dude. I still think I could swamp him and choke him to death, but that's irrelevant. He was offended by something I said. I had to call him on the radio. I'm like, hey, dude, this is Lab. And before I finished telling him what I had to tell him, he comes over the radio and he's like, I will put my boot up your ass if you ever call me that again. Well, I was calling him his first name. I don't know. I still don't know why he didn't want to go by his first name. I only knew his first name because he told me his first name, and I haven't talked to him since. But my point is, I didn't get mad. I didn't go out there and invite him across the street like I would have 3 years ago, but for surely 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'd be like, you're meeting me across the street or I'm following you home. But I just didn't talk to him. The message I had to give him, I wrote it down on a piece of paper and I went and put it by his area and he can read it. And I wasn't mad at all. I'm still not mad at him. I know that a hurt person would do that. So that's my choice, right? That's a paradigm shift. Somebody disrespects you, it's your choice. For one, you don't have to live with that. You don't, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody disrespecting you, or you're, in a situation that you don't feel like you can escape. I felt, fine, I'm in control. But my point is, you have the choice of how to react. And people act like they don't control their reactions. Like my ex-girlfriend, when we first started falling apart, we should have broke up then, and it would have been a lot cleaner and nicer. But I wasn't quite sure what she was mad about, and I was trying to understand, and I was trying to get along as best I could because I was very in love with her, and I wanted to marry her, and we even talked about having kids together. And even though we're getting old, it was like, we're so in love, we should do it anyway. And then I was trying to get out of her, like, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you saying what you're saying? I don't understand what I did or why you're mad. And she said, I'm only reacting to what you do and the way you making me feel. And at the time, I just, whatever, I don't get it. But then, after doing a little more research and learning about myself, and which helps you learn about other people when you understand your own state of mind, she just didn't understand that she's in control of her reactions. You can't just, I don't have the choice to react the way, I can only react the way you make me react. It's like, I can't make you react anyway. I mean, let's take the situation at my work where this dude is yelling over the radio that he's going to stick his boot up my ass if I call him by his legal first name. So I'm still kind of laughing about it because I didn't talk to him after that. I haven't talked to him since. I don't want to get him riled up, let him do something stupid. I'm still not quite sure what he was mad about, but obviously he's unhappy. And, he chose just to go into a instantaneous I mean, think about it. He did not know I was about to call him. He did not know I had information he needed to do his job. It's not like he was sitting there. As soon as that dude calls me, I'm going to threaten him. No, he was just sitting there having his normal day, right? And then because my communication on the radio was less than probably 2 seconds to just like, hey, dude, are you listening? Because I'm about to give you some information. And then boom, I will stick my foot up here. That's not a happy person at all. And let's say that guy had a girlfriend and he's treating his woman like that. My advice to that woman would be turn around and don't be a bitch about it. Walk away and don't look back. That's how you get rid of people like that in your life. I don't care if they're your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your coworker, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. If they're hurting you, they're toxic like that, and hurting you, it means so many different things. I've heard, these women's groups are like, men are more afraid to be publicly humiliated than they are to be beaten. It's like, for me, that's hilarious. I have been punched in this face thousands of times as a hobby. So do you think I'm more afraid to get punched in the face or publicly humiliated? Does it make sense to you now? Like, yes, I understand you're afraid to be beaten because you're the fairer sex. Of course, we're all equal, right? And we could take the same amount of punches in the face. Like, of course not. Let's be realistic here. Yes, I'm more afraid to be publicly humiliated because that hurts me. Taking a right hand, I can do just fine. I'll walk right into a few of them just to get one in on my own, and then we laugh about it and we're having fun training in a martial arts gym. I mean, compare apples to apples if you want to have a legitimate comparison. Don't compare apples to oranges. All right, guys, man, I didn't think I had 5 minutes of content ready to go, and now it is pushing. Where's the timer? We're almost up to an hour, but it's past 10 o'clock. So I hope you guys are getting something out of these videos. I am. I mean, I am loving it. Like, I got to go back and watch more of my videos, like especially this one. And it was a couple days ago as well, where I had a transformation just during the stream. Like, I started it all kind of bummed, and then just as the video's going, I'm just awakening and enlightening, and I'm feeling the spirit filling me, and I'm claiming victory over the difficulties in life. And like I was saying, when I get down to 170 pounds of just jacked, tanned, and juicy AF, it ain't gonna be that I had victory over the food or victory or I figured out a right workout routine. Like, none of that has anything to do with it. Like, that is the 1% of the problem. The 99% is right here, and like I tell people, I mean, even if you're a black woman watching this video and I'm a white man, we are so similar DNA. We are practically twins. There's just the DNA wise, like we're capable of the same things is what I'm saying. The human brain is a little different from male to female. If you got a problem with that, I mean, do some research at least. Don't argue with me about it. The chromosomes are different. But claim victory in Jesus Christ. And my new favorite saying to sign off of a video. Oh, you know what, you guys? I'm gonna go like 80 more seconds. I gotta do it. I gotta hit an hour. I don't think any of my streams are an hour yet. And I'm not even sure if there's a time limit. Back in the day, YouTube used to have a time limit, but obviously I was incorrect because it used to be like 5 or 10 minutes. If you weren't monetized, you could just have small videos and like 5 or 10 minutes, and then it would just cut off. But now I've had up to like 58 minutes, I think, is my longest video. So now this video is 59 minutes and 10 seconds. And I'm wondering if it's going to just pause the live feed at 1 hour. So I am going to time it just right. Stick with me just right. Oh, there's a sign. If you're a friend of mine from the 82nd Airborne, my unit gave me this flag. I got to put it up closer. I got to get it like right behind me when I'm because I'm going to reset up this whole apartment. I'm still cleaning and moving stuff. So anyway, it's Charlie Battery, the 319th Airborne Field Artillery Regiment. I was in the 82nd, and they gave me that when I left. That's pretty cool, little plaque, and the soldiers and officers and NCOs all pitched in and bought it for me, and it was kind of expensive and a pretty awesome, really cool gift. And I'm 50 years old and I still have it. So, all right, you guys, jump on board with Jesus. Jesus loves you. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.